I read a stat. I was looking at stats yesterday. The average merchant agent on their own out there makes $48,000 a year.
Wow.
I don't know how.
It's not going to work in Southern California.
You can't live on that.
Right.
No. You can't live on that at all. And then they say after 5 years you can make six figures. And even six figures in California may not get you a house. May not like
it's not going
especially with interest rates going up and the qualifications to get something like that. So I think you're going to get swallowed up where you have to go get a W-2 job. You have to go get that. And maybe this becomes more of a side thing or who do you know, networking, like I think there's going to be a lot of changes coming up, and your bigger ones will obviously survive because they're going to have a big brand, big name, and they'll be able to put the money towards customer service or the things that are needed to stay alive. But I think a lot of your independent people or your solopreneurs, you would say, I don't know how much they're going to do just this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Payments Experts Podcast, a podcast of Global Legal Law Firm. We hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to the Payments Experts Podcast, a podcast of Global Legal Law Firm. Today, we're really excited to have in studio with us managing partner of the firm, James Huber, as well as special guest, Josh Holden, who is an agent with Card Connect. Josh, thank you so much for joining us in studio today.
Thank you very much.
What's your middle name?
Josh. Benjamin's my first name. I go by Josh. Yeah.
Very cool.
Good question.
Well, you guys have a number of things we're going to talk about today.
Absolutely.
If you guys want to, maybe, Josh, tell us a bit about Card Connect. How'd you get involved with them?
Yeah.
Your background in payments.
Absolutely. So, again, my name is Josh Holden. I've been in payments for about 15 years now. I started off with Wells Fargo. Worked there for about 8 years. Then I transitioned into First Data directly.
At Wells Fargo?
At Wells Fargo Bank. I was a banker there. I moved my way up through the ranks. And merchant services was the avenue I went down. Yeah.
So when people came into the bank and they're like, I need processing, you nailed them?
Yeah, we would nail them. It's kind of like, I kind of consider it like being in the zoo. Like they fed us leads, they fed us all the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a hard transition to go out there and go get it yourself. But once you get that muscle memory down, then, it's great for knowledge though. I learned so much from like your goal to sign up there is like 15 to 20 accounts a month. When you're an independent rep, I don't know too many people who do that on their own independently unless you have a team built out, right? So
so when you said you went to work direct for First Data.
Yeah, directly. I covered all of California for their BBVA relationship.
So you were a sales rep?
Yeah, I was. They called it mid-market rep. So I handled accounts from like 4 million to about 200 million.
And they were shoveling you the meat still?
Yeah, they would still connect it to different banks and things, and they would still shovel the meat over to us. And then I went to Heartland. I did a short stint at Heartland. I was a
Why'd you leave First Data?
I don't like all the regulations that a lot of these bigger processors have.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they have the best, I know we can go lower on the pricing if we had to win the deal, and they still wouldn't do it. They nickel and dime, like all these little things. I was like, we don't need to charge all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And maybe I didn't see the bigger picture, right? I'm not the CEO. I'm only thinking about me signing up a client and me getting some residuals off it. So it's a little different, when you're running a big organization. But yeah, I didn't like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Cool. And then you went to Heartland?
I did that stint for probably about 8 months to a year. I was regional manager there, helped them in the San Diego market, and then I started on my own agency. It was actually Ignite at first. I don't know if you guys remember Ignite, but I started with them. Then I went over to Card Connect, and now we've added MyCamp and Card Connect together. Okay. So we're using both channels just depending on the client and what their needs are.
Okay, so you started your own shop as First Data Ignite.
Yeah.
So basically, you're direct with First Data.
Correct.
Retail, not taking any risk.
Not taking a lot of risk. Yeah.
And how was that transition? Because now you're out hunting.
I like it. Okay, at first it's rough. Don't get me wrong.
When was this? Like 2012.
When was this? No, 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, 15, 16, right around there. It's rough at first. You kind of, you're trickling around 2 accounts a month, 3 accounts a month. And then once you get your rhythm, it took me about 1.5 years before I started having referrals, really getting the brand out there, the name out there, the trust factor out there.
And were you selling as Ignite?
Yeah. Okay. So, I was selling as an Ignite agent rep.
Did you get to keep any of your old residuals from when you were an employee?
Oh, no, not from when I worked with the other companies.
Yeah, no, that's too bad.
Yeah. So
they get you.
They put in markers. And it's funny, now that I'm an agent owner and I have people underneath me, I understand why they do some of that stuff.
Well, sure.
Yes. So I get it.
Okay, so you were Ignite, and then Card, First Data says we don't want to deal with this stuff anymore. Let's put you all under Card Connect.
Yep.
And that just kind of happened automatically.
Yeah.
How was that transition? And will the word awful be a good description?
Okay, so I don't know if awful is the correct word to use. I mean, you've got to be understanding, like, there's going to be some growing pains. Anytime you do anything, I mean, we just switched over, we added MyCam to our solution. We have some growing pains because it's not exactly Card Connect. I'm used to a certain platform. They use a different platform. So there was some growing pains. I like Card Connect's platform they use. It's called Copilot. It's very agent friendly. Like, we get to see everything that our clients do. We have access to all that stuff. So when it comes to like managing your business, it's very good for that. Customer service, things like that, like, they're growing too, I'm sure. And you don't always get a hold of the people you need to get a hold of. And so we're out here kind of dancing around trying to fix things that we maybe not have access to fix. Yeah. And we're waiting on a lot of things. But, it's growing with any kind of business you're with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw it and we were always puzzled when First Data is going. It almost seemed like they don't even want to deal with the ISOs anymore. Yeah. They like their big President's Club boys, and that's it. And then the smaller people, they were like, and then they just straight out did it.
Yeah.
And said, you can all go to Card Connect and deal with them.
Yeah.
Now, and I know everybody really liked Card Connect before that.
Yeah.
And then Card Connect came in, and the First Data people, started bleeding over there and all of that. And there's great people there too. But now I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing the same thing. And it's all coming from Frank up at the top.
Yeah.
You're seeing the same thing where they're starting to treat their ISOs not that great. Like, did you guys get a clawback letter?
Oh, yeah, clawback, yeah. What was it, a year ago? Something like that?
Where they got, all of a sudden, a bunch of people got a letter saying, hey, we've made a mistake for the last 5 years. We've been underbilling you, and we're just going to take it. But we'll be cool. We'll just take a month.
Yeah.
And I've heard it from, way higher ups going, yeah, this is a business model. Take it. Or if people complain about it, okay, we'll reverse it. But we've run into a ton of people that they didn't even complain. And I'm like, why didn't you not complain? Like, then we'll go in and we'll get them some of their money back sometimes, or at least get them to stop taking money, because it's total BS.
Yeah, 100%.
And it was just a big cash grab. But I'm going, we've always said the ISOs are the lifeblood of the industry. The industry dies. Yes. Otherwise, it's all going to be Square and Stripe, which we know do not help merchants. The only advocate for the merchant are, the good ones, like your outfit. They're advocating for the merchant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to make money, but you're going to lose your customers if you're just screwing them over.
Yeah, if you're not taking care of them, yeah.
So by treating the ISOs like crap, I think the industry, particularly small businesses, take a huge hit.
100%.
And so it's really interesting to see Card Connect now taking that on. And I'm glad that, you're working with the other ISO that you mentioned, MyCamp, who, has the, the ISOs are the lifeblood.
Oh, they know, they treat us well.
And dining you, and, we'll bend over backwards. So that's great. All right, well, I
want to comment on that. One thing to your point, why I don't think a lot of people stood up for the clawback thing. They were... A lot of the reps or agencies are so small. They don't have lawyers on hand. They don't have anybody like you to kind of, hey, let me bounce this off you. Here's what's about to happen.
Right.
What's your advice? A lot of them are just like, okay, what is my other choice? Not to have this anymore?
Right.
So I think it's important, as your business gets larger, is to start looking into having legal advice, having someone to have on your side.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons that we, kind of fell in love with this space, as we saw people like yourself, entrepreneurs, built up this huge business, and then they'd call us and we'd be like, oh, like, why didn't you call me before?
Yeah.
We would have been able to figure that out. So it's interesting. All right. So what are you seeing, out in the field now? You guys got your ISO up running, you're cranking.
Yeah.
What are the opportunities and threats that you're seeing out there?
I mean, the biggest threat out there are your SaaS people, your softwares out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest threat. It's funny. I was talking to someone else in the industry, and they're like, "Hey, what do you see it happening in the next 5 to 10 years?" I think it's going to get weeded out a lot. I think these SaaS programs are going to. I mean, we auto places have it, restaurants have it, like all the major industries have someone like that, and then they're telling you who to process with.
Right.
Eventually they're all going to do that, and it's going to really be hard for agencies. I think there'll still be the agents because we give the customer service, we give that, but your smaller ones are going to get kind of swallowed up because there's not going to be a lot of money out there. I read a stat. I was looking at stats yesterday. The average merchant agent on their own out there makes $48,000 a year.
Wow.
I don't know how.
It's not going to work in Southern California.
You can't live on that.
Right.
No. You can't live on that at all. And then they say after 5 years you can make 6 figures. And even 6 figures in California may not get you a house. May not
it's not going
especially with interest rates going up and the qualifications to get something like that. So I think you're going to get swallowed up where you have to go get a W-2 job. You have to go get that. And maybe this becomes more of a side thing or who do you know, networking, I think there's going to be a lot of changes coming up, and your bigger ones will obviously survive because they're going to have a big brand, big name, and they'll be able to put the money towards customer service or the things that are needed to stay alive. But I think a lot of your independent people or your solopreneurs, you would say, I don't know how much they're going to do just this.
Yeah, it's tough, and I hear you on the. I mean, we've got our headaches. Our software as a service, our law firm software has. The payments tied to it.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to get out. And the rates I don't think the rates are that bad.
No.
But I've got clients who would give it away to us because they want the, nice, clean business. I don't think we've ever had a chargeback.
Well, what's funny, James,
have we ever had a chargeback?
We actually just lost a chargeback last month.
Yeah.
I think it's our first one, literally our first one.
And now we're going to go sue them.
Yeah, right?
Wrong person to do it.
Well, that's the point.
The irony of it, really.
So ours, and we don't even really like the software, but they all suck according to us. So, I mean, I think you see that because, look, it does help. It's better than when we used to run it off of Excel. So, I think that is a big threat. But what I was hoping you were going is that these softwares as a service are so bad that there's going to be a way to get in there, to get out of it, to, break that up. Because you have the big companies going around, the ISVs, buy up all those veterinarians, and they'll mess with it to get their payments in there. So what I'm hoping I see is that, okay, look, I'm stuck with Rocket, whatever our systems is called, Rocket Matter. And we're stuck there, but going, no, you have to let us out of this.
Yeah.
You have your agreement with them. That's your thing. Great. Go get the attorneys that aren't payments attorneys that know this is not the best option out there and open it up. So I'd like to see some of the cracking for that so that there's competition, because all of the bigger ISOs out there that have their own developers or anything, they're all saying, no, we can route into the back end, just do it. But then we've tried it, and it doesn't link with QuickBooks and all of that.
Yeah.
We're going, look, we just don't want to mess with it.
Right.
That's the answer right there. We don't want to mess with it. It's a headache. And I get it. Convenience means so much. And I think that's one of the most valuable things. I pay extra for convenience. If I don't have to do something and it's not much more, I'd rather just pay the little bit extra.
Yeah, but okay, fine. But you're balling. Most businesses are running a margin. So restaurants, I think their margin is 10%.
Oh, it's super. Yeah.
And if my processing fees are 3.5% to 4%, my margin is now 6%. So lawyers doing math over here.
It's a dangerous business, James.
Yes.
Yeah. That leads me to the biggest problem that we're seeing in the space that we're, advocating against is these surcharge caps. The rule is supposed to be I'm allowed to recoup my processing fees. So in California has now passed legislation that says that it's the same as Visa. It's the same as what they just did in New York, that the cap is 3%. You can't surcharge a debit card which makes it almost impossible to
in a restaurant
do a surcharge in any environment.
Yeah.
Is this a debit card? Oh, I see this. Oh, whoops, no surcharge. And then you can do cash discounting, but the cash discounting needs to list the higher price, and then you do a discount. So my $1.99 hot dog is now $2.08, and I'm not recouping the fees. So my margin is still low, and I might get fined. And there's going to be attorneys going out and going after the merchants if you're violating this.
Yeah, 100%
on behalf of. Now I'm a consumer, protecting the cardholder. But to your point, I don't know if you've seen it. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Charge me whatever for you having to use my card. Just you can tell me, and then maybe I'll go to the ATM. I've been always saying, if you want to charge someone 20% for using a card, do it. Do you have to tell the person?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the restaurants, I see a lot of line items now. It says for like business expenses, business service, and it's a line item on there. It's like as if you purchased it or something like that.
Right.
And it's 5%, 6%. I was just at Mastro's with my wife eating in San Francisco probably about a month ago, and they have a line item, and there's signs everywhere: 5% business expense service fee or something like
compliant.
that. Yeah,
it's not compliant with Visa. It's not getting compliant with a new rule, and it bleeds into something else we were coming into. It's potentially a junk fee.
Yeah.
James, can you talk about for our audience why is that not compliant? Why is that line item not okay?
Well, it would be a surcharge. Call it whatever you want. If you're adding any fee to a transaction for using a card, even if you're doing it across the board, the merchant that's the plaintiff or the subject of our class action, they were charging 4% for cash, 4% for this. And sure, no, I'm buying a service fee. This covers my overhead. Visa says, and the legislation, the way it's written and probably going to be enforced, is if you add anything to the transaction, that is a surcharge.
Really? Even if it's for cash also? Like, really? Interesting.
Yep, and that was the one. They got a $70,000 fine for that, for adding across the board. And so, yeah, I'd say that's total BS.
Yeah.
If I want to charge look, that's what they're doing. But if it's a, maitre d' fee because we're having the maitre d'. You're paying. If you don't want the maitre d', you won't have to pay that fee.
Yeah.
That would still be a surcharge.
Oh my god.
I wonder if there are ways to do it. I mean, we'll be arguing that in our case if it, proceeds that far, but can I add any, what if I'm selling a bread fee?
Yeah.
How is that different? So the junk fees is another thing that's scary. Is this could go hit our business?
100%. Yes.
Your interchange fee. I mean, interchange. 147 different interchange fees, and
so
they bundled
confusing.
it. So they bundled it all into one fee. I could say you could go, that's a junk fee. Now it doesn't look like it's going to go that route. It is going to restaurants for that. Really? They are going to hit the restaurants with what do they call it? What did you say? The Maestros?
Mastros. There's a bunch of other restaurants. I mean, a lot of the higher end restaurants I see have it, and I mean, I'm a consumer. I don't care, but I just know that somebody else, I guess, out there cares about whether they're getting an extra fee or not. I'm not going to not eat there if they have a 5% service fee.
No, you're not. It's not going to matter because you're. I mean, the thing that Visa has said is being like, well, you need to know what you're paying. You never know what you're paying unless you're in Wyoming, where there's no sales tax. I'm not sitting there computing sales tax.
Yeah.
Sales tax is junk fee. It was dynamic, but the junk fees, I mean, Ticketmaster is the perfect example of what the junk fees are. You have no idea what the fee is going to be.
100%.
And you don't know until checkout, because I've had some of them where it's like, what? Whoa, this is $200 extra? And then some of them it's like $14. And you're like, thank you, Live Nation. But
I just bought pottery tickets yesterday, and I thought they were going to be like $300 a piece, and they ended up being like $400 a piece because of these extra fees. I was like, holy cow.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but the surcharging and stuff like that, I don't put that in a junk fee. It's a 3% fee.
Yeah.
It's not changing. It's not dynamic.
Yeah.
I would say doing the dual pricing could get it a little bit confusing because you're going, I have to do math.
Yeah. Which one? Yeah.
I'm screwed. All right. Well, what do you, so where are you guys going? Where are you taking your business? What's next?
So, I mean, right now we're going through a lot of growth and a lot of expansion. We're hiring on new sales reps. We're playing with some different things. I think in our industry, I talk to a lot of other, I've been doing it for about 15 years. So I try to stay connected to other merchant reps out there, people that I've worked with in the past, new people from, Instagram and social media and stuff. And I find that the biggest problem in our industry is the canvassing. No one wants to do it. Like you get excited about it. Yeah, knocking on the doors and all that stuff. So I think there's a big miss in like having like a call center or someone setting up appointments. And I know there's other companies that it seems to be more and more popping up recently doing a call center. And I know our office is starting to put together a call center. So we're really working on how do we eliminate all the stresses of being a merchant rep. So call center, and then we have an installation team. So we're telling reps, you come with us, we'll go ahead, we'll set up the appointments for you, and we'll do the installations for you. All you need to do is go and pretty much present the pricing and sell the product. So that's been big. That's something that we've taken on in the last like 2 to 3 months, and we're really working on that.
Good. Yeah, I mean, the brutal part of the call center is just the capital.
Oh, yeah.
And having employees in California is deadly. We had some clients that were, they'd take people out on parole.
Oh, really?
That was their call center. And this is hilarious, too. The guy running the call center was a former corrections officer. So they go, oh, hey, Officer Brown, good to see you again. And he was super cool, too.
Yeah.
And he was like one of the cool guys, so they loved it. And they didn't have any issues in there because and people are always like, oh, that's the problem. You're going to have former people. They're on parole. They don't want to get in trouble.
They're going to follow every rule there is.
The prison guard's overseeing it. It was a beautiful setup.
That's
but
funny.
I have seen in California, people that, they love their call center because it's great. You pay people a small wage because you're just coming in the office, making phone calls. You're reading off of, scripts pretty much, and you're just smiling and dialing, and you can make good money because if they get an appointment, you're skiffing them out.
Yep.
If the sale closes, you're skiffing them out.
Yep.
And it's great. And then learn that business and then go out on the road yourself. And there's a great room to advance. I mean, I had a canvassing job and I hated it until I got good at it. Then I loved it.
Yeah.
So the problem, though, is you're just in California and you've got people, here's the supervisor, sidling over.
Yeah.
So,
Well, can we talk about AI? Because it sounds like the call center, maybe at some point, AI can be an answer for some of that.
Yeah.
thought about that.
What do you think?
It's a great idea, Jeremy.
It's a great idea. I think, we're trying to get more like into the digital marketing, that stuff. And I think AI is going to play a big part into that, where leads are just starting to come in all over the U.S. That's definitely something that we're trying to kind of, I guess, dabble in right now. But I think AI is, if you're a business owner of any business, AI is going to come in and play some part. Restaurant owners are going to have robots or something like that delivering the food. Like I've heard of different places where they don't have any employees already.
Yeah.
Like
That's wild.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
I think AI is a big part. And if you're not trying to learn it now and try to get ahead of the, everybody else, you're going to be left behind.
We just bought a clone of me.
There you go.
And
All right, it's going public. James is saying it in public.
And no, it's actually me. But as you type in whatever you want, and I sit there and talk about it.
Really?
Yeah. And then the first one was pretty bad because it was like my mouth was all of a sudden over here, moving around, and my head's shaking around.
Yeah.
It's like Total Recall when you take 2 weeks.
Right. Or Max Headroom. Max Headroom.
Max Headroom. And then now they redid it, and it kind of looked pretty good.
Yeah, it was a lot better.
So you guys are even dabbling into that right now.
Yeah, well, mine is, put it out there because one of the biggest problem that lawyers get complained of is we're not talking to our customers enough. It's
Communication.
not like, in your business where they need someone when they have a problem to call. Ours is, I need an update. So I can send you an email an update, but why not? I'll just type it in and I'll tell it to you on a video.
That's cool.
It's a personal touch.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
cool. We should show you that because I could see that being really great for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're onboarded. Here's what to expect. Call me. I'm the CEO. I'm always available. What was the guy who sold it? He has like one of him. It's on him on a mountain bike.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I just got done a ride. I was just thinking about you.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And I think the thing about it is, and James and I have talked about this is probably going to be good and fresh and usable for a couple of years now, but eventually everyone's going to realize I'm seeing AI, and it's going to lose its value, it seems to me.
Yeah.
Even still, fine, it's AI. Mine is cool.
Yeah.
At this point.
At this point, for sure. Yeah,
and when I went to a presentation where the guy presented it, and they asked that question, he's like, is it going to be a problem in 5 years? I don't know. Ask me in 5 years. For right now, I think it's super cool because, if somebody calls me out, like, James, that wasn't even you. That was a clone. I'd be like, I know, cool.
Yeah, wasn't that cool? Yeah, exactly.
I'll come to your party, too.
Well, true story. So yesterday, we have a meeting every day, Josh, and for the whole firm comes together in the morning. We call it our stand-up meeting. We just kind of check in with each other, et cetera. Well, I played for the first time James's AI clone, and I had him do this monologue from The Office, a Dwight Schrute monologue, okay? I'm telling you, James, only 2 people out of probably about 30 people were like, is that AI? Is that Everyone else was like, I didn't know, like they didn't know.
That's cool.
And that was on a big screen.
Cool. Did it break into Mandarin? Because it's supposed to have 20 languages.
I wish I could have done that. I didn't get that part done,
I see that being a huge thing. Even on the call center, I haven't used it, but the new Chat GPT is like conversational because if you have to train it, but you train it like you would a sales agent, overcome objections. And I could see that being huge.
Oh, yeah. And they're not the same cost of an employee.
They're not the same cost, and then everybody goes like, jobs are going to go away. No, you still need someone to manage the AI. It's just going to be more efficient, or the computer took people's jobs away. Yeah. Some of them.
But no, right.
I mean, it just allows you to scale faster, too. Like, you can grow your business quick once you have multiple things that can go on.
And then you can hire more people because they're getting bigger. You need more people to do that. So, what's next? Where are you going?
Again, we're just trying to grow the company out. We're trying to get into the call center. Like, we want to get to the point where we can set appointments for other merchant companies out there, not just ours. Having an installation and a service team, I think that's a big miss in our market. There's so many reps who hate doing it.
Oh, and it's a pain.
Yeah,
and they shouldn't be doing that. They should be doing what they're best at. Yeah, selling.
So we're just really trying to handle those both sides. I mean, it's nice when you can just come into a place and kind of like a bank, have leads ready for you.
Right.
Yeah. So the burnout hopefully goes down a little bit when that happens. And then we're really trying to partner with the communities out there. A big thing that we're doing is we're offering up 50% residual splits on anybody who refers us a deal.
That's great.
Like,
very cool.
Just trying to get out there. So many people that I'm friends with in like different network groups and communities out there are starting to refer deals, and then it's just side income for them. Like they don't have to focus on it, don't have to concentrate on it. So it allows our company to scale faster because we're getting referrals and leads from all over the U.S. from people that I would have never met in person because we're here in San Diego. So
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Can we talk just real fast, Josh, as we come to the end of this podcast? Yeah. You're doing a great job yourself of marketing, of getting yourself out there. You're very video friendly. You want to talk a little bit about your average day, what your day looks like, and how you're incorporating your video marketing into your business model?
Absolutely. So this is a new favorite topic for me, is the marketing and the personal branding. About a year ago, I said I was going to dive into it and really try to get my name out there because one of my mentors, Grant Cardone, I don't know if anybody knows him, but Grant Cardone, he says, if they don't know you, they can't flow you, they can't, do business with you if you're not well known.
Wait a minute. What was the last know you, flow you?
Yeah, if they don't know you, they can't flow you. No, that part doesn't rhyme. But think about this too. Best known beats best product.
Right.
Like that is something that's always hit with me. So everybody's concerned about being the best in their industry. You need to be well known. You need everybody to know you. And so I spend a lot of time now. I make a commitment to post at least 3 videos on my Instagram. I've hired a marketing team for my LinkedIn, for TikTok, and really trying to expand the brand. And it takes, I would tell anybody, this is not one of those things where like in a month it starts to explode.
Right.
Like it's taken me 6 to 7 months. Now I'm starting to get people who trust me, and consistency is the biggest thing that you can do. If you're not consistent, if you send a video once every 2 weeks, once a month, like no one's going to really trust you. But if they start seeing you every single day, sometimes twice a day, they'll start to trust you. I have relatives who've known I've done credit card processing forever who are now going, oh yeah, I got clients that would be great for you. And I'm like, where was this before I started posting?
When I was struggling.
When I needed this stuff. So I think marketing, personal branding, you guys make a commitment to it. Everybody starts off bad. I'll tell you right now, the biggest thing was getting in front of your camera or your phone and posting something on Instagram or posting something on TikTok. It was uncomfortable. Too many people go and edit it 1,000 times before you post it. Some of the advice I've had to me is record it, post it. Who cares? Just record it and post it. And the more you get into that, the muscle memory starts to kick in. You start saying the right things, and then it starts to become like this flow. Like it's just every single day. It's like breathing. So I would tell you, do all of that as much as you can. You'll see your business grow faster than you would have ever done doing something else.
Are you getting sales agents calling you, or are you getting merchants calling you?
I've got agents. I've had agents from other companies who can't do deals send them to me because they know me from Instagram.
Huh, that's rad.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I can't handle this, or this person wants free equipment, or this, and I'm too small to be able to handle this. Will you go ahead and sign them up? And I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah. And
then we'll get a lot of referrals from this. So a lot of people coming in and doing referrals. And again, I told you 6-7 months. And we're starting to get some larger companies now, companies that are doing $100 million a year, who are sending us referrals going, hey, get in contact with my CFO. I love seeing what you guys are doing. Cool. See if you could help us out. I would never have gotten that.
Yeah.
If I wasn't on social media all the time.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's the new business card. I mean, it's as we talk about our website all the time. Like we've got traffic just constantly coming through there.
Are we on Instagram? We're not
on Instagram. I know. I mean, I guess we better get on that after today. Yeah, we're everywhere else. We're not on TikTok either.
It's all those.
I don't even really know what TikTok is. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I try to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, are we on Facebook?
Yes, we're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn, and we're on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is where it's at.
That's probably where I lack the most is YouTube.
Yeah, so I need to get strongest.
More presence on YouTube. I love LinkedIn. I've been trying to post on there once to twice a day on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's probably where you get most of your stuff. Yeah. I'm surprised how much people actually use LinkedIn for like looking at videos and stuff like that. I always just look people up, but
that's how I originally used it. And now when something's in my face all the time, and you're like, oh, okay. This person must be important. They must know what they're doing.
Right.
And it's so funny how video makes you feel connected with someone.
Right.
It's really true.
Yeah.
Which is why the AI might work even in 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about Twitter, X?
I'm not big on that. It's probably, again, I should be.
I've never used it.
Yeah, I did years and years ago. Yeah.
You did.
Some other
tweeting. What's that?
You were like doing getting in this thing talking trash. Oh yeah, I remember your video of masks don't work. Jeremy spraying an
James has to mention that once a month at least.
Spraying an aerosol in a can. He's going, look. This mask doesn't work.
This is going to get edited out.
But going to your guys' point, video is so important. We've started following up with our clients by video message.
Yeah,
we'll do this and text it to them.
Yeah,
and it's something different when you, I guess, see another person's eyes or what it may be, but then you just believe them.
Yeah.
You guys pause real fast. I apologize.
No.
We should wrap it up. The camera's overheating. I got to get this addressed. It's a major issue. I apologize about that.
Conversation's too hot.
Yeah, exactly right.
Just that one camera?
You know what? It's these two. And I'm not sure exactly why yet.
Why don't you just wrap it up from over there then on yours?
Okay.
You can just say,
great conversation. Josh, I'll give you the last word though.
Because we need to go, Josh, where can we find you?
Exactly.
Cool. This.
Yeah,
great conversation though.
Yeah, and hey, if you guys, I'm local, so anytime you guys want to do this, I love doing this stuff. Let me know if you guys are like, hey, we need some more content for this week or next week or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'd love to come in.
Love it.
And I'll just be a robot next time.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be talking to a screen.
Yeah.
Yes. That's funny.
It's pretty cool. And I think we paid $1,000 up front.
Yeah.
And then do you know how much? I think it's like $100 a month or something.
Something like, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's like wicked cheap.
Yeah.
So I could see, like, because think of how much your time goes down.
Yes.
Just type in, boom,
Yeah,
content.
That's awesome.
And according to them, 14 minutes later. So if you type them your script, whatever you want James to say, supposedly 14 minutes later, your video's ready to go.
So did you have to first initially do video with your face?
Yeah, we need to do another one.
We actually get to do 2 more because they gave us one for free.
Oh, I thought it was just to train it. It's just different backgrounds.
Different backgrounds, which I think will be really helpful, actually. So,
give me, if you have their card or information, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, will you send it to him, Jared?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think we get referral fee too.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely send it to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely send it.
Yeah.
By the way, Josh, if you're getting all this work coming your way, they need legal
100.
assistance.
2 people I've told them about you guys. I don't know if they ended up using you guys, but I tell everybody like this is the group to be a part of.
Right on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we're golden. We're back on. So you guys ready? We're jumping back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, Josh, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
This has been lively conversation. Stoked to hear about your success. Where should people get a hold of you?
If you guys are on Instagram, at HTBJosh. If you're on LinkedIn, Josh Holden. On TikTok, it's at HTBJosh. Contact me anywhere there. DM me. If you have questions, I love to connect with other merchant reps out there, other agency owners. Love to share ideas. So please reach out to me. I answer all my stuff. So if you get an answer back, it's from me.
I want one more thing that I really like when you're saying, other agents reach out to me. I think that's cool because you're not competing with people. It should be a collaboration because we've always gone like, we're in this together. Like, we have only one attorney group. There's maybe like 5 other payments attorneys out there total. There's only one group that like we don't totally get along with.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. It's their choice.
Yeah, it's a collaborative
I'm
effort.
very likable. Every opposing counsel likes me.
Loves James.
No, we'll go fight it out, and we'll do our work. But then afterwards, it's okay. Like,
Want to go to a bar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then fight. All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Payments Experts Podcast, a podcast of Global Legal Law Firm. Visit us online today at globallegallawfirm.com.